whispering heart of the American Midwest lay the sleepy town of Summersville. An old sawmill town that barely touched the map, it was surrounded by vast dense woods, the lifeblood of the locality. Nestled within this green abyss was Camp Redwater. It was a typical, rustic summer camp with log cabins, a glistening lake, and the legend of the Redwater Ripper. It was a tale of a crazed sawmill worker who, in a fit of rage, had slaughtered his co-workers and disappeared into the woods. The story served as a great campfire tale, nothing more than folklore to keep the adventurous campers at bay after dusk. This summer, like every other, the camp was ready to welcome a new batch of teenage campers. The counselors, all former campers, were excited about the season. Among them were Jenny, the cheerful one with a tomboyish spirit, and Alex, the handsome jock with a heart of gold. Then there was Ray, the nerd with an insatiable curiosity, and Mia, the introverted artist who often expressed herself through her drawings. Lastly, there was Pete, the camp's caretaker, an old grizzled man with a patch over one eye and a limp from a long-forgotten accident. As the camp bustled with life, the legend of the Redwater Ripper hung in the air, a shroud of morbid intrigue. After the first week, the campers had settled, and the counselors decided to share the grisly tale of the Ripper. Gathered around the campfire, under the dark velvety skies studded with countless stars, the tale took on an eerie life of its own. It was 2 days later when the first incident occurred. Alex, always the athlete, was leading a group of campers on a trail hike. The day was bright, the air filled with the melodious chirps of hidden birds. Suddenly, one of the campers screamed. Alex rushed over to find a dead deer, its gut grotesquely displayed. While unsettling, they chalked it up to a predatory animal, perhaps a bear. That night, the atmosphere in the camp was tense. Even the rustling of the leaves seemed ominous. Pete, trying to lighten the mood, announced a game of hide-and-seek in the dark. As the game progressed, laughter echoed through the camp, and the strange incident was momentarily forgotten. Meanwhile, Alex chose a secluded spot near the lake for his hideout. Hours passed, the game ended, and when Alex didn't return, Jenny and Ray decided to look for him. Their hearts pounded in their chests as they found his jacket near the lake, but no sign of Alex. The camp was now gripped in terror. The sheriff was called, search parties formed, but Alex was nowhere to be found. A state of emergency was declared, and the decision to evacuate the camp was made. But the torrential downpour that very night made it impossible. The next day, as the rain cleared, Ray discovered something horrifying, a piece of Alex's shirt stained with blood, near the old sawmill. The camp was paralyzed with fear. The sheriff, trying to maintain calm, assumed that Alex had an accident and was probably seeking shelter in the mill. As the day turned to dusk, Mia, distressed, retreated to her cabin and began to draw. It was then she made a chilling observation. On the sketches she made on the first day of the camp, a shadowy figure lurked in the background, near the sawmill. She rushed to show her drawings to the others. But before she could reach them, someone grabbed her. A hand over her mouth muffled her screams. Jenny and Ray, waiting for Mia in the main hall, decided to look for her when she didn't show. When they reached her cabin, they found it ransacked, and one of her sketches on the floor. The shadowy figure near the sawmill sent chills down their spines. Without wasting a moment, they rushed to the sheriff. But the sheriff and Pete were nowhere to be found. The radio in the sheriff's car crackled, and a message came through the roads were clear for travel. It was then they noticed that the sheriff's car key was still in the ignition. Their hearts sank as they realized they were alone with a possible killer. Panic-stricken, they decided to get all the campers into the main hall, the only place with a sturdy lock. As the night fell, the main hall was filled with terrified whispers. Ray and Jenny tried to maintain calm, assuring everyone that help was on the way. But as the night grew darker, the generator suddenly went off, plunging the hall into darkness. A collective gasp filled the room, followed by a deafening silence. Then, out of the darkness, came a horrifying figure, masked and brandishing a bloody axe, the spitting image of the Redwater Ripper from the legend. The masked figure lunged at the group. In the ensuing chaos, Ray managed to turn on his flashlight and shine it directly into the attacker's eyes. Temporarily blinded, the Ripper retreated, leaving behind a scene of terror. With the dawn came the rescuers. The police found the main hall in disarray. The remaining campers, Ray and Jenny, were unharmed but visibly shaken. Mia's body was found near the lake, and Pete's in the old sawmill, both brutally murdered. The sheriff's patrol car was found crashed into a tree, not far from the camp, the sheriff dead from the impact. The bloody event left the town in shock. The camp was closed, and the legend of the Redwater Ripper was no longer just a tale told around a campfire. It became Somersville's horrifying reality. The identity of the masked killer remained a mystery, leaving behind a haunting question: was it the spirit of the old sawmill worker from the legend, or a deranged mind inspired by the tale? The masked murder at Camp Redwater became a chilling reminder of the thin line between folklore and reality. As Somersville tried to heal, the dense woods surrounding the town echoed with the whispers of the past, a ghastly echo that promised to keep the fear alive. Every rustling leaf, every shadow cast by the moon, every echo in the wind, served as a grim reminder of the horror that had gripped the quiet town and the once jovial summer camp. The legend of the Redwater Ripper now lurked in every corner, casting a long, dark, inescapable shadow over Somersville.